Welcome to Deep Dive with Dr. Fitz, Season 2, Episode 21. And I'm your host, Dr. Sean Fitzpatrick, Superintendent of Schools here in the Schuylkill Haven Area School District. And to my left, Mrs. Caitlin Delenick, brand new Title I reading specialist. And when I say brand new, you still have the new car smell right now. Let's be honest.
I do.
I don't know if that's a compliment or not, but I always like the new car smell. Literally has just assumed the role of Title I reading specialist. And we're going to get into that in just a second. It's so great to have you on the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm really excited.
We're going to talk about next week. This is a big week in elementary schools, not just in Schuylkill County, but across America. We'll get into that in just a second. So let's talk a little bit about some important things going on in our district this week. Thursday, this is being recorded on a Thursday. We'll let them know that. But Thursday evening, tonight, bocce ball competes in the league playoffs at Hazelton High School. Good luck to our bocce ball team. Good luck to our Lady Hurricanes. They will play for the first time in 40 years for a District 11 title at Easton Middle School. That is Friday night. And then also Friday, our swimmers are competing in districts. They did diving last week. Swimming is this week. So good luck to all of our swimmers. But next week is about readers.
It is a big week, especially in our elementary school. It is Read Across America Week.
Yes, now you have a bag. And it actually says a bag of books, I see. We'll get to the bag in just a second. Let's talk about your transition from teacher to Title I reading specialist, all of which has taken place over the course of the last couple of months in our elementary center.
I mean, in less than a month, I went from a classroom teacher to a Title I teacher. So it has been a big change, but it's been a great change. You know, I can really use my skill set to help a lot of students in our elementary center. And as a Title I teacher, we do a lot of universal screeners throughout our whole building. And then we use that data to really hone in on what those students need and really meet with them and help them in small group and try and fill in those gaps to help them achieve greater things in the classroom and in their individual selves. Just yesterday, we were actually at a conference about the science of reading, getting more skills to bring back and help them even more.
Yeah, that's a hot topic right now. Mm-hmm. And we're not going to get into it on this podcast. There's several other podcasts that you can tune into about the science of reading. But we've seen transitions over the years from, belief in whole language to direct instruction and all that stuff. I think what I'm most proud of is I know that you are part of an excellent team that stays up on that research, and we're working towards some outstanding curricular changes. And yeah, you're really in with a good group over there. And let's talk about next week. Read Across America isn't just a Schuylkill Haven thing, obviously. I watch grown adults walking around in giant red and black caps and wearing cat-in-the-hat type costumes. But what is it? Tell our listeners, our viewers, what is Read Across America all about?
Read Across America was originally developed to celebrate the late and great Dr. Seuss's birthday on March 2nd. It's kind of taken a spin from there as a celebration of a love of literacy. And especially in the early elementary grades, it's more of that love of learning, those early elementary learning skills and reading and just loving reading and books.
Yeah, we're very fortunate to have a cast and crew, if you will, at the elementary center that loves to participate in this week. And there will be no holds barred next week. Everybody gets involved. I know I'm coming over to read. Our high school principals, even middle school principals, they're coming over to read. Our school board members. We will all model what it means to be a reader next week and come in and read in some classrooms. So let's talk about special activities. I have a list in front of me right here, and you've got a bag, as I see here.
I do have a bag. I brought supplies.
What does next week look like? What is Read Across America Week at Schuylkill Haven Elementary Center going to look like?
So next week is a week of optional dress-up theme days centered around Dr. Seuss's most famous books. So I did bring a bag. Just to help with our themes.
See some books, yeah. It's very exciting.
I came prepared. I packed this last night.
Yeah.
So Monday is a celebration of the places you'll go.
Yeah.
you're going to wear something, if you want, totally optional. We're not stressing parents out of a place you like to go or dress like you're ready for vacation. So
that's all right. We'll get that
bring
later.
your
Here,
your
I can hold a
favorite
sleeve there.
place to go.
Wild
I know
wood.
everyone's surprised I didn't bring an Eras Tour sweatshirt. It's okay.
Yes.
So wear something for somewhere you like to go.
By the way, that's probably the most appropriate Wildwood sweatshirt I've seen sold on a boardwalk. I've been to a few of those stands along the way. That one's appropriate. We'll take that one. Very
On
good.
Tuesday, it is Fox in Socks Day. So let me dig in this bag next for my crazy socks. Now, my socks aren't very crazy. They're very teacher appropriate. I have my pencil socks ready to go.
They are bad.
Fox in Socks Day. Wear
You
your
have to
crazy
point your
socks.
toes with those pencil socks.
Well, unless they're dull, then that's okay too.
Okay, all right. That's
Then it is Green Eggs and Ham Day. Wear your green. Start to get ready for St. Patty's Day. Pull that stuff out.
Give me a sleeve here.
Wear
I can
your
hold the
green.
sleeve
Wear
and
your green. I really dug into the
You
closet.
know what? The green stripes take it to a next
So
level.
wear
now.
your green.
Is that bell worthy? It might be. We'll ring the bell. All right, I like it.
Thursday is Cat in the Hat Day, where you can wear your red and black and white or your favorite hat.
All right.
You can really go all Dr. Seussy if you choose to.
Let me see that. I think I could use all the help I can get.
That I went to the dress up in for last
All right,
night.
I'll wear that for the rest of the show.
And then Friday is probably everyone's favorite day. We're going to celebrate the sleep book. It is pajama day. Wear those jammies. Bring your favorite book to read, because there will be time to drop everything and read throughout your classroom during the day.
Nuffle Bunny. That's the name of that book.
Nuffle, but this is a good one. And also, throughout the week, we're going to be collecting gently used, or new books throughout the week if you'd like to donate. And later on in the year, we'll be using them for a book swap. My daughter and I just finished this one in the last few weeks, so we'll be adding this one to the bin.
So that is Pizza and Taco Wrestling Mania.
Yes, and if you are an old WWE fan, there are some great references.
Yes.
You will love to laugh
The
out in that
bestseller,
book.
I'm
Yes.
So you've got a great week planned.
We do.
for next week. I love it. All right, guest readers, big part of this. Any leaks? Can we leak? I probably did that already, but leak some of the lineup for next week. Who will some of our special guest readers be?
Well, let's just say I'm very new to this position, and it is okay to ask for help. And I had to say, Mr. DeLusso, I'm going to need some help. I'm going to need you to reach out to our school board, our administrators. Can you reach out and ask them if they want to come in, if they're willing to do that? And he said, of course. We also had our kindergarten teachers had a great idea, and they said, why don't we reach out to our staff as well and see if we want to have a teacher swap? So they planned a teacher swap where teachers are going to sign up to swap classrooms to read to each other. We have some retired teachers coming in who are going to come back and read to some students in the building. It's going to be a really great week of just celebrating that joy of reading. We even have our gifted students are going to help me out on the announcements with some Dr. Seuss jokes
I like that too. Good. Now, you've got a guy like me coming over to read. How do you pick what book to give me? If I say to you, I'm not bringing my own book, I want you to pick a book for me. How do you and you'll probably have some fun with this. Do you look at the books and say, we've got to hear this guy read this book? What book would you pick for me, and how do you choose?
Well, I went to our lovely librarian, Mrs. Mangle, and I said, Mrs. Mangle, can you put out some books for our guest readers to read? And she has a whole stack already in the library for us. We have our typical Dr. Seuss books there. We have some Caldecott winners for, some who want some really good classics. We have some kid favorites like Pete the Cat. But she has a whole array ready for, whatever you're in the mood for. We really like when some people come in and we hand them those Dr. Seuss books with some tongue twisters, really get them befuddled as they're reading.
So you're new to this position, but I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit and give advice. We've got moms and dads and maybe aunts and uncles and grandparents watching that have a child that's a struggling reader. And I know no two are alike, but give me a strategy or two that you've seen work in your career for that loved one that's watching now and says, I really want to help little Billy, little Johnny, little Susie. Give them a strategy to say, this is a good place to start, something small.
Read. Just read. Visit your local community libraries. Read your library books that come home from their library special. When out and about in our local communities, stop at the little libraries. There's ones right outside of the elementary school. There's one over by the playground at Stoyers Dam, and they're almost always filled. Donate. We always stop by and throw in some extra books when we're done with them. Visit our book fairs. There's another one coming up at the elementary school March 10th through the 14th. There'll be a parent night and flyers coming home very soon. I think this week Mrs. Mangle's getting them ready. And let your kids see you reading. Let them see you read. Let them see you enjoy a book because they look up to you. When they see you reading, they say, hey, that's really cool that grown-up is reading. I want to do that too.
Didn't the first book fair you ever attended as a kid instill your love of shopping?
Yes.
I think back to the crazy stuff that I bought at that book fair. I maybe, had to be persuaded to go back and get books. They're like, put down the Slinky, drop that eraser, and go get some books.
Scholastic book fairs just hit different. They do.
It was like pizza day on Friday. Book fair was the beginning for me of a...
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's what started it.
I'm thinking it might be. All right, good stuff. Any memorable moments, something specific that you remember from a past Read Across America week or something that stood out to you?
Well, I've been at Haven for a long time. This is actually my 18th year here. I know. I only look 22. I know. It's fine.
Yeah, that's right. Out of college, I would have thought so.
But I think one of my biggest memories is really right post-COVID. And, we were so lucky how much we were able to be in the classroom, looking back and reflecting on that. And we weren't able to have guest readers come in. And I was really going to miss that for Read Across America week. So what I did was I reached out to my parents and I said, hey, we can't have guest readers, but I have an idea. Will you take me up on this offer? And what I did was I set up mystery readers and we used Google Meet, and I had them pop in throughout the day on Google Meet, and they came on and they read books, and it was just so magical. It was something I actually kept doing after that, and my students loved it. Those tiny humans just seeing that camera come up on the screen and a grown-up they love appearing and wanting to share a book with them. It's just so magical.
Yeah, well, we're excited for all these kinds of ideas. Now you bring them to the Title I department, and we're excited for that. Looking ahead, any ideas or goals for this year or next year for that matter?
Well, again, I am really new to this, so I kind of had to hit the ground running pretty quickly. But Mr. DeLusso may have already received an email from me for next year saying, hey, is there a Read Across America budget? Because I'd really like to get an assembly in. Can we get an assembly in the works for next year? So I'm working on it.
So we are already thinking about next year. I love it. One book that you would recommend to every elementary student?
All right. So I am a big fan of our elementary school's PBIS program, our Haven Heroes. And one of my favorite books I use that I couldn't find because I'm moving between two classrooms right now, it's somewhere in a box, I'm sure, is a book called Even Superheroes Have Bad Days by Shelley Becker. Yeah. And it's all about how we all have superpowers within us. And we can use those superpowers for good, or we could use them for evil. And it's a choice we make. We can make that choice. And even when we have a bad day, we can dig down deep inside of ourselves, and we can self-reflect, and we can deep breath, and we can even cry and stomp our feet and yell sometimes. But it's our choices we make after that really prove who we truly are. And can we then show those hero behaviors?
Love that. I like to say there's no such thing as a bad learning experience. Mm-hmm. We kind of learn a little bit from all of them. All right, if you could have any guest reader, past or present, visit our school, who would it be and why? And I think I know the answer to this one.
All right. Yeah, you probably do. It would 100% be Taylor Swift.
I knew that was coming. Yeah.
There's actually a quote I had heard from her very early on in her career, and she said, "I wouldn't be a songwriter if it wasn't for the books that I loved as a kid. I think when you can escape into a book, it trains your imagination to think big and to think that more can exist than what you see. And I hope that reading gives every single child that same exact feeling. And who knows, maybe we have the next Taylor Swift opening a book right now in the elementary school. And maybe when they have a big tour that I could get tickets before I have to sit in the queue on Ticketmaster."
Yes, yeah. But by the way, she's very good at getting tickets. How many Taylor Swift concerts have you attended?
3.
All right, very good. So Taylor Swift would be your special guest. I love that. And again, we all are excited for you. We're excited because we kind of knew you're going to bring an energy, and that is caught, not taught. When you're a student trying to do something that's hard. Let's be honest. The students you're working with, reading's not easy for them. We need your positivity. We need that bright smile, and we need that energy that you're bringing. Not to mention the ideas, the books, and all the good stuff that you also bring to the table. I think that's pretty exciting too. Anything you want to add before we get set for next week? Read Across America Week.
I'm just super excited. It's my first time really planning it out. Fingers crossed it goes pretty smoothly, but I'm excited, and I hope every student leaves that week not with just enjoying the themes and the fun we have, but with a love for reading.
I think the part that I like most about your elementary center is the fact that you've got a pretty even keel. I'll use that term, even keel, very low maintenance principal who is not afraid, put a crazy hat on like I'm wearing now, not afraid to get slimed. And I watch him next week. And for me, I watch the entire staff transition from winter to we can do this.
Yes.
It's literally a transition from, and that's what I think about. When I think about Read Across America Week, it's March. Let's be honest, it was a tough winter. It was a hard winter for kids because we didn't have the kind of snow that you could always be out playing in. We had a lot of ice and slop, but we had bitter cold. And we had kids that were stuck indoors a lot. And we're coming off of that. We're getting into next week. We're instilling that love of reading and we're having fun. But I also think we're looking and seeing. I think that's the finish line. We're getting past winter and we're getting into spring, and that's exciting for me.
Yes, spring has almost sprung, and we've been on the playground again this week, so it's been pretty great.
I saw that. Actually, I had a meeting yesterday at the softball field. We're doing work at our softball field, and I got to walk past the playground filled with kids, and that made my day. So great. Mrs. Delenick, thank you so much.
Thank
Mrs.
you so
Caitlin
much for
Delenick,
having
ladies
me.
and gentlemen, our brand new Title I reading specialist, fresh out of a first grade classroom. Been with us 18 years now, you said?
Yes.
I love that. Thank you. We're so happy for you. Folks, this is just one of many great staff members that we have in our elementary center, our middle school, and our high schools across our school district. So like and share this episode. We're on Spotify. We're on YouTube. I'm knocking the microphone around again. I get so excited. But share this episode. And remember, let everybody know that we're part of the Schuylkill Haven Area School District, where quality endures, and a place where we make the positives so loud that the negatives are impossible to hear.